Welcome to Online Etiquette. My name is Beth Ann Nissen. I'm the Educational Service Trainer for WGTE Public Media in Toledo, Ohio. Today we're going to look at the rules of online etiquette. Online etiquette are rules for behaving properly online. In fact, the new term is Netiquette. Netiquette is a combination of rules for online behavior. It's the internet plus etiquette is Netiquette. It's looking at character, safety, conduct, worthiness, social integrity, honesty, truth, all of these things that we need to be able to share with our children as parents. Why is it important to teach your child netiquette? Well, let's look at the statistics. In 2018, 94% of 3 to 18-year-olds had at-home internet access. They were online. 88% of them were online through a computer and 6% a smartphone. The remaining 6% no internet. So what does that mean? It means that the internet is a part of daily life for children as well as adults. And it's important to teach your children online etiquette. Children need to be given direction, guidance, and boundaries so that they are safe. One way that you can make sure your children are safe online and that they practice etiquette is to be proactive by creating an online family contract. An online contract is a way for everyone to understand the guidelines, the boundaries, and ways and expectations of behavior online. Once you create the contract, you have everyone in the family sign it. Today, you're going to learn all kinds of behaviors and expectations that could go into your family online etiquette contract. First of all, teach your children to remember that you are talking to a real person when you are online. The internet brings people together who would otherwise maybe never meet. And we always need to have a golden rule where we teach our children that, would I say this to the person's face? Here's some standards that we need to follow. Behave the same way online that you do in real life. Children need to be aware that they're talking to a real person that has real feelings, even though you can't see them. It's important that you know where you are in cyberspace. Before you or your child joins a chat room or a social media platform, check it out. Get a feel for what it's about, what the people are saying. Virtual online learning requires an etiquette. Teachers set up online routines and norms for social etiquette with virtual learning. Parents can help all of you can help your child be successful with online learning by using these kinds of virtual learning etiquettes. First, make sure your child is at the correct place on time. Help them to click on the link, whether it is Google Meet or a Zoom for class. Make sure that your child has a quiet place to learn. It may be at the kitchen table, maybe it's in a room where there's a window in the background. But make sure that it's a place where there are few interruptions. Most of the time, the teachers require that the children enter the Zoom or the Google Meet or the learning platform on mute. And then your child will have an opportunity to speak, perhaps when the child gives a chat message, or the teacher will identify a time that it's appropriate to contribute verbally. Make sure your child is dressed appropriately. Teach your child that it's always important to check their spelling, check their grammar before posting. And it's always know what you're talking about and make sure it makes sense. Just be polite, be pleasant. Teach your child that to ask questions online and to share their expertise and their knowledge, especially if they're perhaps in an online platform of maybe a special expertise or a hobby that they have. When they post questions, many times there's other people who have similar questions, and that just develops their self-esteem, their camaraderie. Privacy settings, very important for online etiquette. Check it out. Look at the online forums and go to the settings. This may be Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, maybe it's video games, maybe it's YouTube. Check out the platform. Look at the look at who can see their photos, who can send them a message. Should they consider maybe using a picture of something other than themselves as a profile photo so that they're not seeing your child as the profile? Think about those things. Think about if it is being shared to the whole World Wide Web, or is it to a limited community of people? For some online communities, it's best just to use a made-up screen name that doesn't give any clues that reveal your child's identity. However, when children decide to communicate anonymously, sometimes they can become less accountable. So it's important that you teach your child to own whatever they write online, whether they're using their own name or a screen name. If they wouldn't post something under their own name, they shouldn't post it at all. Only write something online you'd say in person, that golden rule of online etiquette. Following it saves everyone lots of trouble, yet it's violated time and time again. The fact is, your child is less likely to damage peer relationships, get in trouble at school, embarrass themselves, or worst of all, make a mistake that affects their future if they follow that golden rule. Teach your child ahead of time not to engage in flame wars. There's nothing wrong with an animated debate, but it's important to teach your child to sign out if the conversation becomes too heated. Tempers can easily mount when conversations unfold, and no good can come from joining in on that. So it's difficult, but encourage your child to express frustrations with you and step away from that debate. Websites of all kinds made it easy to share something with just a click, and this is a good conversation to have with your child. This makes social networking, yes, more fun, but your child should resist the urge to share private messages or pictures. Even if they're in a limited forum of participants, in a limited selected group of people, sometimes there's messages or pictures that should be kept to themselves, and they shouldn't join in on the sharing frenzy that can follow. Know when to log off. Look at these statistics. 2019, the Common Sense Census. Preteens, 4 hours and 44 minutes a day engaging in online. And that's not including school or homework. Teens, 7 hours, 22 minutes. It's important that you talk about and you decide as a family when it's time to log off. How much is too much? Well, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that parents of kids and teens 5 to 18 years old place consistent limits on the use of media. Now, not all screen time is equal. It's up to the parents to decide how and how often their teens use screens and whether that time is positive or negative. For example, time spent on schoolwork might not need to be restricted, of course, versus playing online games. A good rule to consider as a parent is that screen time should not replace time needed for sleeping, eating, being active, studying, and family time. Etiquette with the family. Have that discussion about your family time and etiquette. Some families say, put your device down when someone is speaking to you. 2, silence your device when you're at school or you're at a special gathering. And 3, put your device away when you're eating dinner together. Some families even have a basket or special place where everyone, even the parents, put their phone down until the meal is over. There are etiquette rules even for Zoom, Google Meet, things like platforms like that. Here's some simple etiquette rules. 1, join early, up to 5 minutes before starting time. 2, if you've not used Zoom before, click the link to download prior to the meeting and get familiar with the features like mute, unmute, stop, start video, and screen shares. Do refrain from eating or drinking during a meeting. Dress appropriately. Mute your microphone. It's a polite thing to do to start a meeting. Limit distractions in your background. Be prepared ahead of time with files or documents that you would like to screen share. This is a great way to communicate with your child, an effective way for them to make good decisions online. And it's the acronym for THINK. Before they text, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, message, think. T, is it true? H, is it helpful? I, is it inspiring? N, is it necessary? And K, is it kind? Here's some fun 10 commandments that you may pick up. Some of these you'd like to use in your family internet contract. 1, thou shalt not use the computer to harm people. You shall not use the computer to interfere with people's work, people's files. Thou shalt not use a computer to steal. Thou shalt not use a computer to bear false witness. Thou shalt not use or copy something that doesn't belong to them. Thou shalt not use other people's computer resources without permission. Thou shalt not appropriate other people's intellectual output. Thou shalt think about the social consequences of what you write. Thou shalt use a computer in ways to show consideration and respect. Here's some great it's okay things to talk to your child about. These are great conversation starters. It's okay to ignore a friend request. It's okay to untag yourself from a photo or ask someone to remove a photo of you from their page. It's okay to delete a friend's comment on your page. It's okay to unfriend someone whose presence on your page makes you uncomfortable. It's okay to ignore quizzes, groups, and just widely marketed event requests. Finally, it's okay to use privacy settings to restrict access to your page. Sometimes people do not follow online etiquette. And when someone does not follow online etiquette, it can get so extreme that it's called cyberbullying. What does cyberbullying look like? Well, it takes place online. It's sending mean or threatening messages. It's posting comments, videos, or images about someone to hurt or embarrass them. It's breaking into someone's account and sending rude messages. What if my child experiences teasing, gossiping, bullying, lies, name-calling, harassment, or mean words? Let's look at the statistics. 37% of young people, according to DoSomething.org 2019, 37% of young people between the ages of 12 and 17 have been bullied online. It's almost 40%. 30% of that 37% have had it happen more than once. The most commonly reported type of bullying is verbal harassment, followed by social harassment, then physical bullying, and there you go, cyberbullying. What if my child experiences bullying? Talk to your child. Explain to them, don't respond or retaliate. Sometimes a reaction is what the aggressor wants because they think it gives them power. 2, tell your child, it's not your fault. You know, what people call bullying is sometimes an argument, but if someone is repeatedly cruel to you, that is bullying, and no one, tell your child, no one deserves to be treated cruelly. 3rd, save the evidence. Usually you can capture the evidence by a screenshot, copying, pasting, whatever it may be. Find a way to save the evidence to show someone who can help. 4th, tell the person to stop. Now, this is up to you. Don't do it if you don't feel comfortable doing it. If you do feel comfortable, sometimes that works. Just simply say, stop now. 5, reach out for help. You deserve backup. See if you can get someone to listen to you and help you process what's going on, whether that be the authorities or school. Teach your children these manners and feel confident that they will behave as well in the virtual world as they do in the physical one. I hope that you gathered some ideas of some boundaries and areas of etiquette that you will agree upon and perhaps create a contract for your children, and family. Thank you from WGTE Public Media.